it's Lindy from the 50 Plus Coaching Hub, and today I'm talking about 10 things that you need to stop doing after you hit 50. So if you're in your 50s, or indeed beyond that, and you just feel that life's not working for you in the way that you'd like, or you just kind of want things to be better, then please stay tuned because I'm going to give you lots of great tips. And if you like what you hear and you'd like to dive a wee bit deeper into them, then the 50 Plus Coaching Hub website is almost ready to launch. And there's going to be lots of workshops and online courses there that you can take part in. So that's exciting. But also, if you've got something that you want to bring to the table, please drop a comment in the box below. I'd love to hear from you. And lastly, please think about subscribing so that you can get inundated, only joking, so that you can receive these videos whenever they're released. So, kicking us off at number 1, is to stop trying to please everybody. By the time you get into your 50s, you can find yourself spread as thin as my hairline through people pleasing. You know, through it can seem that everybody, your family, you know, your spouse, your kids, your friends, your colleagues, everybody wants a wee piece of you, and that's usually because you've allowed that to happen. You know, you have to take responsibility for that. You've allowed that to happen. You've said yes so many times that people just expect that you're going to say yes. They don't always or often even think that they're putting you out. You're just the go-to for getting everything done. And so, although this is probably going to be challenging, in fact, definitely will be challenging, it's time to start saying no more. It's time to stop trying to please everybody and be all things to all people. And the way we're going to start that is by learning to say no more and by setting boundaries. Now, this doesn't mean to say that you get annoyed or angry, or, you know, if your kids ask you for a lift somewhere, you start throwing things at them. But it does mean being very, very assertive in your, nope, sorry, can't do that right now. You don't need to make excuses. You don't need to justify yourself. You just need to stick to your guns. Nope, sorry, can't do that right now. But then when they go skulking off, realising that it's not going to happen, then that's when you follow up with setting a boundary. So something as simple as, oh, and by the way, can I ask, the next time you want me to give you a lift, can you make sure you ask me the night before or in plenty of time? Because then there's much more chance that I might say yes. Number 2 is that kind of same old nugget, stop looking for things to beat yourself up about. It's such a human thing, using posh words there, and especially a female thing, to look for imperfections in yourself, right? And whether that's, you know, thinking to yourself that what you've just said sounded like the most stupid thing that anybody's ever said, or literally standing in front of a mirror, picking out all your faults. We women are experts at putting ourselves down, finding faults and putting ourselves down. But here's the thing. You have to stop that. You're in your 50s. For goodness sake, you have lived through all sorts of shit to get to this point, and it's time to stop beating yourself up. And here's the thing, you know, every wrinkle on your hands and on your face tells a story. You know, your collection of vintage wisdom lines, as I call them, tells a story of your life. And your crow's feet, I've got big crow's feet, but that's just, you know, proof of me squinting at the craziness of people around me as I go through life. You know, your hair is getting grey, becoming grey, well, at least you have some. You know, you should be I think some fell out there. You should be the last person being hard on yourself, because here's the thing, if you don't advocate for yourself, who's gonna? So this is the time to stop criticising yourself. Just stop it. And at the very least, if you can't find anything nice to say about yourself, then just don't say anything at all. But ideally, find nice things to say about yourself. This body of yours, this mind of yours, this voice of yours has followed you through these, been with you, part of you, through this 50 plus years of being on this earth. That's a lot to be grateful for. Number 3 is kind of following on from number 2, and it's to stop worrying about getting older. Society has programmed us into thinking that as soon as we hit our 50th birthday, it's all downhill from here, Oh, that's you over the hill now. No, it's fucking not. There is so much to get excited about in your 50s and your 60s if you have the right attitude. Because this is the time to stop giving a damn about what other people think, to start embracing your quirks. Usually by the time you get into your 50s, you're starting to get an idea of who you really are and what you really like. And this is a time to start embracing that and to, checking off your bucket list. You want to go wild swimming? Go, join a group, dive in. I think that's brilliant, because here's the thing, with age also comes wisdom, and as I say, this ability to not care what anybody thinks, and I would much rather have that than a few less lines in my face. Number 4 is to stop pretending being somebody you're not. Hollywood is filled with actors, but so is life. It's full of people pretending to be something they're not, pretending to be confident, pretending to have all their shit together, pretending to be rich, pretending to be popular, whatever it might be, when really all life asks of you is to be you. Nothing beats being authentic, just being who you are and being happy with that, being comfortable with that. It doesn't mean to say there might not be things you want to change, but being absolutely comfortable with who you are and not giving a damn about what anybody else thinks. It doesn't mean to say that you're going to blaze through life, no caring about other people and with no thought for anybody else. It doesn't, the opposite, in fact. But it does mean being absolutely content with who you are and what you have around you. And as I say, if you're not, then it's time to change it. But in order to be able to change it, you really need to start from a point of gratitude. So that means being grateful for who you are right now with, as I say, who you are, what you've got, and then you can start making changes from there. Number 5 is to stop closing yourself off to life. My parents divorced in their early 50s, and it was as if life stopped for both of them with the divorce. Not because, they were upset or anything, they couldn't go over each other, the opposite, they couldn't stand each other, but because from that point on, they closed themselves off to life. So, no attempt at making new friends, trying new things, exploring the world, taking on new hobbies, flirting with love, absolutely nothing. And they both lived well into their 80s, which to me is 35 years of missed opportunities. And yet so many people do it. They get to that kind of middle age, their 50s, and it's kind of like, well, this is it. This is as good as it's going to get. And they close themselves off to the limitless possibilities that life has to offer. So please, if that's you, if you're in your 50s, if you've just come through a divorce, or you've been on your own for a long time, or you're unhappy in any way, think about opening yourself up to life, opening yourself up to the possibility of life, because when you do, oh my goodness, how quickly your life can turn around. And at the very least, you just never know what might happen. Number 6 is to stop being a victim. please don't go through life feeling sorry for yourself, regardless of what you've got going on. We all have this tendency to talk about life being unfair. You know, when something happens to somebody, we say, oh, life is so unfair. That's really, and I've said it loads of times, but it's bullshit. Life is no unfair. Life is just life. And every day there are really sad, hard, unpleasant things happen to people. Not because life's trying to get them back, but just because life is life. You know, I have cancer. That's no, karma trying to get me because I've done something bad. Although I do believe in karma, I do believe that the way that you live your life has the ability to come back and bite you in the bum. So I have no doubt that my cancer as a result of not only my physiology setting the conditions for cancer to grow, but perhaps my lifestyle in the past. It's absolutely possible that I have had one glass too many of Prosecco and one bar too many of Cadbury's chocolate. You know, they're full of sugar. Cancer loves sugar. So I have probably played a part in me getting cancer. And so it's really important to take responsibility for how you're living your life and, things that might have gone wrong. That doesn't mean to say that you might not be walking through life and something awful happens and you had no part to play in it. You fall down and you break your leg. But that still doesn't give you the right to think and act like a victim. Because here's the thing, if you think and act like a victim, you'll start drawing people towards you that think and act like victims. And you'll be having all these victim-led conversations, talking about your medicines, talking about your hospital, talking about your GP, talking about this, talking about all these bad things that have happened to you. And all that does is keep you locked in a prison of your own making. And that is not good for you. It's not good for your mental, your physical, your emotional, your spiritual health. It's only when you break free of that and you don't let that define you. My cancer doesn't define me. It's just a small bit of my life that's going on just now. I'll deal with it. I'll do everything I can to get rid of it and to make sure it doesn't happen again. But it's certainly not taking over my whole life. By doing that, by focusing on the positives in your life, the things you have to be grateful for, spending time with people you love, and really, really making sure that you are creating a positive mindset as you go through life, wow, it will just open everything up to you and you will feel healthier and happier in mind, body, spirit, and that in turn will create you a healthier mind, body, spirit lifestyle. So please, please, please don't be a victim. But on the subject of cancer and anything else, number 7 is to stop taking your health for granted. When you get into your 50s, you can have this kind of mentality that because you've had these decades of youth and good health that you're invincible. And of course, none of us are invincible. And so instead of taking your health for granted, when you get into your 50s, it's the perfect time to really start taking control and be invested in your health going forward. Because if you don't, 1 minute, you can look and feel like a rock star, and the next you're Googling knee braces, right? So, lots of good food, keeping yourself hydrated, lots of exercise, whatever that means to you. It doesn't mean being in the gym. If you like to go walking, if you like to go out playing golf, whatever is good for you, and lots of regular checkups. But it's also time to laugh more, to stress less, and to stay curious, to really embrace life for everything it has to offer. And remember, the healthier you are, the more adventures that you can embark on. Number 8 is to stop settling. Stop settling for boring, for the norm, for what everybody else is doing and what everybody else expects you to be. Stop settling for your comfort zone. Instead, take chances. Plan new activities, start a new hobby, revive an old hobby. And don't give a flying fox what anybody else thinks. Your 50s are a gift because you have the wisdom, usually, to know what doesn't serve you, and you have the freedom to pursue, usually, what you want. So sit down and think what you would really like to do with your life. You know, I mentioned wild swimming earlier. Do you want to do that? Do you want to take up knitting? Do you want to start climbing Munros? Do you want to go off and travel on your own? The world is your oyster, you know, depending on how much money you have, much time you have. But you can always do something. Even if you're skint, you can go out walking. You can get groups of friends together. There's always something. So this is the time to stay curious and really, really embrace your life. Number 9 is to stop staying quiet. I know so many amazing, funny, smart, creative, innovative women, and yet they keep all that to themselves. Why? Because they're scared. They're scared other people won't see the wisdom and the humour and the ideas, and so they silence their own voices. Just think about that for a minute. For centuries, other people have been trying to silence women's voices, and now we're doing it for them. Now this is the time to stop it. Your voice is important. What you have to say is important. What you have to bring into the world is important. I need you to know that. I, for one, want to hear it. How can other people learn and grow and question themselves if they've not got folks around them bringing new ideas into the mix? So if you're in your 50s, your 60s, beyond, and you're one of those people that's just got to the stage of thinking, I really don't want to speak up because some other voices are louder or they sound smarter than me, stop it. Stop it. This is your time to be heard. Stop giving everybody else airtime. Let your voice be heard. Bring it into the world as part of your legacy, and let other people hear what you have to say. And last but not least, number 10, stop waiting for the right moment. I don't want to be the bringer of bad news, but you and I are dying. That's it. I've said it. It's harsh, I know, but it doesn't make it any less true. There is only one destination waiting for all of us, and that's death. Every single day, every single minute, every single second, we are moving closer to the point of ee. And so by waiting for the right moment to do something, it's literally a waste of time. So whether it's starting something new, meeting someone new, getting rid of something or someone, whatever it is you're waiting for, you know that, I'll be fine when I do this course. Oh, when I have a wee bit more money. Oh, when I just get to the end of next month. Oh, when this happens, after my holiday, blah, blah, blah. There's always something. But actually, if you want to do something with your life, just dive in and see what happens, because what usually happens is life takes care of it and the jigsaw puzzle all starts falling into place. In my 50s, no, I'm 58 now, I'm 59, this year, so 6 months or something. But I have done so much with my life in those, in the past 8-9 years. I have gone through a divorce, bought a new house, moved to a new village. I have become ordained as an interfaith minister. I have started a whole new business. I started this channel just recently, and lots more besides. You're never too old, it's never too late, but I implore you, don't wait, because one day it will be too late, and you probably will be too old. So do it now. If you've got an idea, you want to write a book, I want to read it. You want to start a podcast, I'll be the first person to listen to it. You want to start a YouTube channel, send me your link and I'll watch all your videos. Just do it. Don't wait for the right moment, because what that usually means is I'm waiting because I'm a bit worried that it won't work. It'll be a failure. Other people will laugh at me. We're not in the playground. Who gives a shit if anybody laughs? Just try it. You might just find your tribe. You might just be the voice that somebody desperately needs to hear in their life. That should be reason enough. So there you go, 10 things to stop doing in your 50s to ensure that you're living your best life. As I said, if you have liked what you've watched, what you've heard, please leave a comment below. Please think about hitting that wee subscribe button, and I'll be back soon with more nuggets of wisdom.